The Beast King picked up his cub. After making sure there was no danger, he placed it back into the pack, but he failed to notice that a string of explosives was actually strapped to the cub's rear. The archer waited for the perfect moment, then fired an arrow with full force, just as the arrow was about to hit the explosives. The Beast King was completely enraged. He commanded the horde to launch a full assault on the tower. At this critical moment, Anna secured a metal hook onto the eaves. The moment the monsters lunged at them, the two grabbed the rope and leaped off. While the main force of the horde was distracted, Jack hurled his last arrow with all his strength, successfully detonating the bomb hidden among the beasts. Although the threat was temporarily neutralized, monsters outside the city walls kept pouring in endlessly. To fend off the Tao Ti invasion, the king had no choice but to deploy all his soldiers. The Red Armor Corps were the archers. Even from miles away, they could strike the monsters with pinpoint accuracy. But against tens of thousands of Tao Ti, these attacks were like scratching an itch, nowhere near enough to stop their advance. When the horde reached the base of the wall, it was time for the Blue Armor women warriors to step in. Armed with long spears, every strike went straight for the monsters' weak spots. Then, using the ropes around their waists, they flipped back onto the platform. It looked effortless, but it was actually extremely dangerous. The monsters kept multiplying. To turn the tide completely, they had to take out the Beast King first. However, against their fiery assault, the Beast King simply spread his massive wings and effortlessly deflected every attack. Under its overwhelming power, humanity seemed to stand no chance. Soon, the monsters began climbing up the walls. Just as a young boy was about to be swallowed whole, Matt leaped into action. He caught a falling spear mid-air and drove it straight into the monster's eye. With their combined efforts, the monsters on the wall were successfully driven back. Strangely enough, the Beast King suddenly ordered a retreat. Everyone thought they had successfully defended the wall through sheer determination. Little did they know, the real danger was only just beginning. That night, everyone cheered and applauded the two warriors for their bravery. The atmosphere was unusually relaxed. Kevin also took the chance to show off his archery skills. But what they didn't know was, while everyone was celebrating, an even greater crisis was quietly brewing in the darkness. Suddenly, a large green mound bulged up from the ground. It looked like something was about to burst through the surface. A soldier stepped forward and poked it with his spear before anyone could react. A terrifying creature emerged from within. It flapped its wings with tremendous force, instantly shrouding the entire camp in dust. Strangely, it didn't attack anyone. Instead, it scooped up an old man from the ground and flew straight up into the sky. The soldiers tried to put up one last fight, but the creature simply cast a quick spell, and tens of thousands of arrows instantly turned to ash. The old man was completely bewildered. He didn't recognize this massive creature at all, nor did he understand why it had saved him. But when the creature pointed to the coat it was wearing, everything suddenly clicked. 20 years ago, while Jack was gathering herbs in the mountains, he stumbled upon an abandoned baby with blue skin. Although he could tell right away that it wasn't human, the little thing looked so helpless and pitiful. Kind-hearted Jack decided to take it in anyway. An exorcist rushed over immediately, insisting that this creature had to be killed. He claimed it was a child of demonic chaos, and keeping it in the mortal world would surely bring disaster. But even if it was a demon, whether it grew up to be good or evil depended on how it was raised. Seeing Jack's firm resolve, an immortal offered to take the child to Mount Kunlun for training. It was a place of peace and tranquility. Only then did Jack agree, to make it easier to recognize him in the future. He named the child Legenzi. Who would have thought that after 20 years? Legenzi still hadn't forgotten that act of kindness. When the tyrant learned that Jack had been rescued, he flew into a rage and immediately sent a massive army to destroy the village. Waves of soldiers stormed into the valley with overwhelming force. The village chief knew there was no escaping this time, but just as the two sides clashed, that familiar figure appeared once again.